see here. I think we are rocking and rolling. About to find out. Welcome to Pieces of Pat Paint. So hope everybody is doing good. Oh, I better turn off this thing. That's helpful. I did move myself down. I'm down here. I'm down here on this. I'm over here on the down. No. Yes. Here. So I moved that camera. I think this is gonna be better all around. I think we'll be able to see what we're doing better because of, you know, over here it's just this hand. You're just seeing a lot of this hand. So we felt like it would be better if we were seeing more of the model up here on this side, since that's how I typically hold things. Just because we figured like it was going to be, it just would work better that way. And yeah, it looks like everything's working great, so we're going to turn that thing off, and we're not going to worry about it anymore because we are broadcasting live here on the internet. So anyway, welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome for the first time, and hopefully we will be welcoming you back. We will find out. I think we're about to get an echo if we don't turn off those speakers. There we go. Nope, that was not the speakers. That was the brightness of the computer screen. And now I can't see anything. Oh my gosh, the cats are going crazy. Now I can't see anything on that computer screen. This sucks. I made a boo-boo. So if it is your first time here, I am really bad at computers. I'm really good at painting. I found it. There we go. I finally got it. Now let's turn those speakers off so that it's not echoing in my head. That's better. Hello. Okay. So anyway, not sure if we've got anybody watching or nobody watching or everybody watching, but we're gonna worry about that later. We're gonna get started and we're gonna start talking. We're a little early than normal. I have a doctor's appointment. And I'll probably talk about that several times throughout today to remind everybody that the reason we're here early today and that we'll be closing down early is that I have to go to the doctor. And I always I don't get to make the choices of when some of these appointments are. I just have to go with what. Oh, I just raked my case across my paints. That sucked. Well, luckily it's nothing we're gonna have to worry too much about using today, except for maybe that magenta. That's no bueno. It looks like Monday we'll be getting, or tomorrow we'll be getting a new palette out and getting that cleaned up because that's gonna be a mess. I'm not gonna worry about it today. Yeah, you know. It's been a crazy day. I hope everybody else's day has been entertaining. Hopefully it wasn't as crazy as mine is. It's been a little bit wild. But it does seem to be getting better as we go along, which is great. Alright, so yesterday, if you're here with us, we were working on our Psychophage, which is this guy right here. Let me grab some gloves real quick. It is a Tyranid model from 40K, which is a Warhammer 40K. It's a tabletop war game set in the grim dark future, and it's really cool. It's a fun game. We got a lot of different Tyranid pieces. We're gonna be this is what our paint scheme is. This is the final version of the paint scheme. I brought the other one, which was the tester version, in. This was my tester to kind of start getting tested on, get it ready, and get the idea and the concept. And I added a lot more of the orange to it from this concept because I thought that the orange and the purple and the yellows really help everything kind of work together and really brought it out. I really like where we ended up, and so we're going to be doing this for all the other pieces from here on out. And then I brought this one in too to show you where we made the tightest model I was talking about yesterday that has the ultramarine on it. Boom. Man, that camera just pops right in now. It's great. We really got that dialed in. So, and I attached some Tyranids onto this model where they're kind of trying to attack him. So, you can see some more of that, what this paint scheme is going to kind of look like when it's all said and done for the Tyranids. And he gets a little bit of the Ultramarine, which is great. He's a lot of fun. Titus is cool. Okay, so, oh, and I brought this. This was a Necron I was working on. One of our subscribers has a Necron army, and he's talking about getting. Oh yeah, that does work. Bam, right there. He's talking about getting it painted, and we'll see how that goes and see where we go with that. All that. We're always happy to take commissions. If you have a commission, then definitely reach out and we'll get you taken care of. We might even paint it on the channel, which is fun, painting on the channel. If that's something that you're interested in, like I said, get in touch with us. You can, we have a website, piecespatpaints.com. You can also, list it in the comments and I'll try to get to you or whatever. Lots of ways to get a hold of people nowadays with social media. So this one's got all of its brown washes on. We did a raw umber wash followed by a burnt sienna wash. There's a couple places I've noticed where I missed getting some coloration on there. And so we're probably going to take care of those little bits first. And then we're going to come back and we're going to work on getting some of this purple cleaned up and then doing the washes for it because it gets a different wash. And this side has had the wash put on it, where this side has not. And you can kind of tell the difference in the way the carapace looks. And this will need one more. And it's going to darken it down a few shades as well. And what we're using to wash this is the Payne's Gray as a wash, which works great. And we'll use it again in the mouth too. It'll really help darken our mouth out with the right way instead of it just making it brown, which isn't exactly what we want. Anyway, we're gonna get started. Today I'm joined with Miss Kristen is here in the studio. She is over there working on her little projects while I'm here working on mine before we go to the doctor. This is why I have to go to the doctor, because if I don't, she'll hit me with a club and then drag me into the car. Which isn't fair to her because she's really small and that's a lot of work to force her to have to do. So I might as well just be nice and go. That's fun times. Good times. Ooh, I'm already knocking this camera around. One of my friends was like, "Is it hard to paint like that?" I was like, "Yeah. I mean, it's challenging." I think we get better at it all the time. There's also the person that I was discussing the camera move, so I think he will probably be watching again. And if you did, thank you, Mr. Bonsai. I appreciate it. He'll know who he is because we were having the discussion, and that's the way that works. So yeah, just a few of these. It was a few of these little things I missed. I'm just gonna come in, and luckily most of it's the purple and the magenta, which isn't as big a deal as that I missed some places where I needed to add a yellow to, because these are darker anyway, so they're gonna. The washes aren't as big of a problem. Give us time to get in here and get it fixed real quick. And we're going to start a wet blend, which is fun. We've been trying to get to this wet blend part of this since this got started. Yeah. See, I'm starting to get that fade on those. We want it. I missed this one over here too. I missed a lot of these little things. I must have been too busy running my mouth. I do that. Start talking too dang much. So again, sorry we're here early today. For those of you who missed us when we went to the live spot, which doesn't look like anybody since we have nobody viewing as far as this channel is concerned. But we will later. We usually do. Anywho, I have to go see the doctor. I have a lot of breathing troubles, and so I'm kind of in and out of doctors. So, and it's not fun, but at least I'm still here, painting and raising hell. And hopefully, maybe we can get a little good work done, and maybe we'll be able to breathe a little better and do more stuff, which will be fun. I miss being able to play soccer, although I don't know that I'll ever be able to get back to that level. It would be nice to at least be able to climb to the top of the soccer stands to watch soccer without having an asthma attack. That would be nice. You know, goals. Little goals. Small goals. Alright, just bring that. We're bringing this purple back out. Trying to get its color to transition just the way we want it. We're going to come back and we're going to really lighten up these bones on his rib cage too, to help them stand out. But it'll definitely help if that centerpiece is the purple. Really make this look great. I mean, we're already starting to look pretty good, but it's going to get better. Alright, so let's take one more run around. Make sure we didn't miss any magenta. More purple. Oh, purple right there. Yeah, we got that side, but not that side. Okay. Alright. Nope, right there. That should be magenta. Okay. Oh, see, now I see why I missed that. Over here, I accidentally painted it with Payne's gray, and it should be magenta. And underneath here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Alright. There we go. I think we are looking good. I'll clean up this bottom here, the Payne's gray. Just want to get that extra wash where it collected and clean that and just get the color back to the gray, the dark gray. We can leave some of that brown, but we don't want it to get too crazy. That was a little over the top. Maybe a little bit right there. I like using those browns, the Umber and the Siennas, because it has that earthen tone, so it makes it look more dirty, grungy. Okay. So now we just need to do the dark wash for our purple, and we'll be on the wet blending. So we want to use, this is a straight Payne's gray turned into a wash, and it is going to sit on all of this blue and all of the purple. And you can already see how it's going to help with the blue. Really going to help that just pop. It just pops it right out for us. I'm going to bring it down and get into these grooves. We're really trying to make sure we're getting it to set up in the cracks. So whatever kind of manipulating or moving of the model you need to do it to get to where you need to be with it, and where you need the where you actually need the liquid to go and the paint to be. Especially with a wash. A wash comes off, it moves pretty easily, and if you have to, you can get it off pretty easy. Just blot it with a towel, come right off. Unless you didn't let your stuff dry, in which case you're in trouble. Alright. I had done this side earlier, but I didn't do, looks like I missed that. I didn't do the, I don't know, whatever this is, psychic smoke or something. On the box it comes, it's the same color. It's a teal color, same color as the brains. So it's like, fine, okay, well, we're just going to paint it like that then. I don't know, some sort of psychic fire or something. Yoga flame. Yoga fire. Anybody remembers the old Street Fighter? That shows you how old I am. Do they even still have Street Fighters? Probably do. They probably still make Street Fighter games. That seems like a ridiculous question to ask. So you see how that is really going to make our maw look very maw-ish. It's just, now he looks brutal. Alright. We're not going to worry about putting a wash on these just yet. And we're going to let this one dry up a little bit. And while it dries, we will work on getting started with wet blending. Which is what we're here to do today. Everybody came for this. We've been waiting for this for days. So we're going to start here in, we'll start in the back. Alright, so we're going to bring in this magenta right here on the top. And then we're going to put a line of burnt sienna. It's not wanting to play nice today. There we go. Had to get it super gooey. Okay. And a line of this. Just like that. This seems weird, but that's okay. Just bear with me. Everybody relax. Okay. And I probably could have done these lines at the same time if I could have come in and done the top and the bottom. But, yeah, whatever. I like to give myself a little bit of room. Alright, now from here, we're just going to kind of blend them into each other. We're going to let that blend in. And we want to kind of let it hit those areas where the light is going to get it the most. Okay, and I'll pull that part around. And then we're going to pull it up into that, and down into that. Now, if we want to bring it a little bit more reddish or a little bit more of the orangey brown, we can always put a little bit more of that down. Like that light's out in the wrong place. That's a little better. Maybe a little higher. Ah, yes. There we go. So anyway, like I said, put a little, if we want a little bit more red or a little bit more brown, put that in there and just kind of bring it up into it like that and down. And it'll start to kind of blend itself together. So you can vary your color a little bit. And it starts to make it look more and more fleshy, which is what we're really trying to do. Now I actually want to get this a little bit brighter, so I actually want to bring that yellow back and redo this all over again. I'm just trying to show you guys how to do it while I'm getting it going. Again, we really want we're trying to make the flesh fade. It's a little bit of how the light is going to hit it, and it's a little bit about how the distance that the flesh is from the carapaces and stuff like that that makes this look the way it does. And sometimes it takes a couple of times to get it right, and if you try this technique, you'll get it. It just takes time. And I guess you could do this without working with all the washing and stuff like that if you really wanted to. But I really feel like this wash stuff, it really helps set the stage for what's going to happen. And it helps create those crevices a whole lot better for you. And this is going to need a little bit of a drier bit because we're just trying to top these little edges up here. Little bits. Uh-oh. Oh, that's my usual time to get on. That's funny. Probably see some people pop on here in just a few minutes and be like, what's going on? What happened? And that's okay, because I'm going to explain it. And it's going to be just fine. So, there we go. And this really gives us that chance to come back, and you're really going to get to make sure everything is right when you do this. You get to be able to come back and say, okay, every inch of this thing has been rechecked and rechecked and rechecked. So it is good, and I know it is. Yeah, this is going to look great. I think we're going to be really happy with this product when we're said and done with it. Alright. So this wet blend stuff takes a little bit more concentration, but if you have some confidence in what you're doing and you just pay attention, you'll be just fine. A lot of it is like looking at the model and saying, okay, well, this is deeper recessed in than that, and so I want to fade my color to the lighter spot on the outside, and then of course the lighter spot up top, the more light that can hit on the top, the lighter that shade needs to be, which is why we use the washes to help give us that deal. And the model itself is going to provide some shade just from where it sits. So you got that going for you too, which is good. Again, we're going to come in, we're just want to keep bringing in our same colors over and over again. We're really going to let the washes handle a lot of work too. Those washes are doing some good lifting. Poor Chris over there choking, trying not to cough on the camera. Yesterday I was trying so hard not to cough, I felt like I was bulging my eyes out. Okay, put that burnt sienna down, and we'll come back with the Naples yellow. Same thing again. And a little bit more over here. Where that light would have been hitting it. And just kind of keep working with it, and you'll let those paints blend themselves in as you go. And it really starts to come out as a great looking finish. So maybe just a little bit more magenta on these guys here. Yes, definitely. Like so. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and touch these up again. And it's just been rubbing off from me handling it and liquid getting on it and whatever. We're going to come back with a highlight color later and hit those up, but for now, get them right down to where they're supposed to be. Okay. A little bit more of that sienna in there. Sienna, Sienna, Sienna. Well, we got somebody in. Hello, hello. Welcome. I'm sorry we had to start a little early today. I have a doctor's appointment later on this afternoon, so I had to start early so I could get our full hour in. But right now, what we're working on is the wet blend for the fleshy bits of our Tyrannid. We yesterday applied several washes. Brown. We did a well, two different kinds of brown: a sienna and a umber wash. And now we're blending in. We're fading from magenta through burnt sienna to Naples yellow, which is a lot of fun and just a tiny bit complicated, but that's all right. We like it complicated. show you do it again. We're just going to keep showing you how over and over again till we're done with the model. We're going to come in here with that magenta again, fresh. I'm going to put a good amount, a good line up here at the top so we can pull it down. And I will do this sections at a time. I've been doing a little knob, little knob, little knob. This one needs a little bit more magenta in it to help make that work. Alright. So magenta to the Sienna, we're going to put down next. This has got a little too much Naples, so we're going to put a little Sienna there. There we go. Especially in that little crack there. And that little one there. Buzzy, buzzy, buzzy all the time. Alright, so that's blended pretty good. Now we take that Naples and we're going to drop it right on top. Right there. And right there. We just kind of blend it in. Just barely moving around with the brush. Trying to pick up a little bit of that sienna and bring it into where we're at. And kind of keeping in mind where my light source would be. And where the further away from our carapace is. To help gain this illusion of a change in color or a fade. Make it seem more fleshy. Now these are beyond our normal battle ready models. Like I don't put this much effort into a tier 1 model. This would definitely be, these are a lot special. Just for me. This is going to be our like house army when anybody comes over and they want to play. And like, oh, well, I don't know how to play Warhammer. Oh, great. Well, you can just be the bugs. You'll be fine. It's already ready to go. You're going to love it. Alright, so now we'll move down into this bottom section and start getting this all set up properly. Yeah. I'll put that magenta through there. That's gonna look groovy. Groovus. Alright. Come back with a little bit of our sienna. And then a couple little marks of that. That's probably enough. I'll take the rest of the paint off the brush, but not clean it. And then I'm just going to blend those in to the edges. And those other colors will show through that flesh pretty good. We might have to come back and mess with it just a little bit more. Bringing the same colors back again. If it starts to get to where it looks like it's a little too blonde or a little bit too washed out, then we want to bring those colors back and hit it again. That's going to look great. Dee 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 dee. Do a little bit more. There we go. That's working a little better. You definitely want to bring that lighter part in, but we don't want to take away from the color change we got going on by making it too yellow, too white. It needs to stay pretty dark in those little folds. Probably let this dry out just a little bit, and we'll come back and see what it does. I want to get in that hole right there. There we go. And this is where you do it. This is where you get that chance to be like, okay, that's too bright, that's too dark. I don't like that line there. I don't like this line there. And kind of start keeping it cleaned up. Little bits by little bits. You know what? I went this whole time and I didn't turn on this light. Wow. Well, that makes a huge difference now, doesn't it? Golly. Sometimes I'm such a goober. One of these days we're going to get all this straight. It's going to be great. There we go. But that light will help you see what I'm seeing a little bit better. Goodness sakes. Okay, well, you know, only what, 30 minutes into the show? Lace eye. Okay. And we're back to doing a little bit more of that yellow color. Blot a little bit off of there. Let it kind of set up. Now we're already looking pretty dang good. Keep coming in here. Like I said, what you're doing is you're alternating those colors between the magenta, the Naples yellow, and the burnt sienna. And you're kind of trying to help it find its way where it's supposed to go. Get the blends to work out right and look more natural, less spotty. And that can take a little bit of time. Alright. Now I want to come back. This seems weird, but I'm going to come back with that burnt sienna on that one and mute it down just a touch, especially right there in that area. And those little details seem, I know, superfluous, but they make a big difference in when you get to the very end of this. Trying to mellow them out. Just bring the edge up ever so slightly to make it kind of pull out from the bottom. Takes a while. Lots of practice. Lots of practice. All right, now. Okay. All right, let's work on this bulbous belly stuff down here. And like I said, we're gonna just even out some of these colors. We don't want to take too much away from this wash work here. But we do want to, right there where maybe it's a little too saturated, we're going to soften that up so that it seems a little bit more natural. But we don't want to mess too much with what's going on what's going on with those veins and how our wash caught that, because the wash caught it for us real well. We do need to bring this level up. Like I said, I'm trying to soften these edges, not completely change them. Now, burnt sienna around this outside, and we're going to blend that in as we go around the edge. Again, don't pressure your brush down onto your model too hard. We're trying to let the bristles run across the parts and kind of blend into the Naples yellow that we have down on there right now. Oh, yeah, all right. Now just a little bit more of our Naples right here, and we didn't clean our brush or anything. We just grabbed a little bit more paint, and we're talking a tiny bit, and we're just wet blending that in to soften that edge and make it blend in really well, like that. Ooh, fun. All right. A little bit. We need to work a little bit more on this piece here. There we go. Yep. You can see how that's giving us that nice fleshy looking transition. And we're still using our washes to get that under the undercoats and stuff like that, and down in the crevices to look proper. But now it looks more fleshy, more raw, more, you know. That's what we want. Okay. So let's get back to working through these cracks. This is in the hardest part of the whole project so far, is right here in these areas. So we're going to do that now and bring it to match up with the rest of our thing that's going on. Maybe even a little bit in there. All right. Yeah, and it's the same thing again, just getting the burnt sienna and the magentas and everything to fade into each other. And you're just be patient and don't worry too much about it. If you make too much of a mistake, we'll just throw it in a thing of alcohol and we'll take all the paint off and start again. I feel like I did that to a lot of models when I was younger. I feel like I put a lot of things in alcohol. Well, when I was younger, honestly, most of our models were like metal, so you could put them in straight up acetone, and it would take paint right off it. But plastic models, you can't do that. Alright, and here we come back in with this Sienna. Trying to make sure we don't have too much of that Naples yellow popping up. I'm really going to have to do that here in just a second when we get to that one. That one's been really hard to get in with the washes. Which is kind of what's nice to be able to come back and do these wet blends, because we can focus more on it. We're not, when I do washes, it's, or anytime you do any wash really, anything super exposed like this doesn't normally take the paint. So it's nice to be able to come back and apply it and let it set up for you real well. A little bit of Sienna there. So you can start to see it as it sets up. You can see, okay, well that's not orangey enough, so we need to bring a little bit more orange in this Sienna, this muddy orange. Yeah, starting to look nicer. Yeah, slowly but surely coming together. That just looks gnarly. Here comes Princess Taffy Toes. Hello, Miss Taffy Toes. Hello, pupper. Princess Taffy Toes. We're going to put you on a shirt, Blue. Whenever we get to where we can start selling merch. I don't know. However you say that. What did the Fandangle kids say these days? Merr. Okay. Oof, golly, that's hard to get into, isn't it? Okay. And then some Sienna. Okay. And this one just needs a touch of our yellow. We should be able to do a little bit of blending from there. This is definitely a tedious work right here, but the effect is so nice. It's definitely worth the time and the effort. Okay, so now let's start working on our blend here, because we got to get this to blend properly. So we're going to get our Sienna down, and then we're going to come back with the Magenta, and we're going to blend those together. And like I said, just kind of just work those two colors into each other and let them blend in. It takes a lot of courage. You got to have the courage for it. So, hello everybody. Sorry we had to start early today. For those of you who are jumping in, I have a doctor's appointment, and unfortunately, it had to start at 2 o'clock. So I had to come in here 30 minutes early and get it started so that I could get some stuff done for you guys. So, but we're gonna have to jump off here about like 10 more minutes. We're gonna have to pop off, and I gotta go take care of myself, or else, you know, we won't have any more videos. Well, then what are we gonna do? So, so we gotta do that. But we've been working on wet blending, and you can see how we're starting to look coming across all this. Really coming along nice, and it's got a great look to it. And this thing's all said and done, it's gonna look like a sore scab that got peeled off or something. It'll look crazy. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great technique. And like I was just saying, you got to have patience, have courage. You're going to make some errors. You're going to make mistakes. It's alrighty. Everybody does it. Everybody gonna make a mistake. Everybody. Especially with a technique like this, because it's not just straightforward. It really depends on what is going on with the shape you're working with. You know, it depends on how it needs to be blended and what colors need to be blended in from where and to where. Oh yes. Oh yes. Little bit by little bit. So like you can see that side, and this is the side we've been working on. And then you see this side, and you see the side that just has the washes on it. So this is just with we did our base work, and then we just this is just with the 2 washes on it. And this is the washes plus the wet blending. There we go. Washes plus wet blending. Just washes. Now both of these look great, right? Like you could just go here and you could call this ready and you could rock and roll, right? But like, look at the two. This is a great place to see the 2 differences. As you can see here on the top, we haven't done our wet blending yet, but here on the bottom we have, right? And so now it looks more natural, more fleshy. Okay, where this one looks fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, you could throw that on a tabletop and people are gonna be like, yes, that looks awesome. But then you'll set it next to this and you're like, oh, I see what they're trying to do, right? And you can see it's the same, but it's also not the same. So, and that's like the little differences that will take you from like your model looks pretty good to your model looks over the top good, and those kind of little things. I still got about 6 minutes, so we're gonna keep working. We got a little Dougie Fresh. 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh on. Give me the on. On. Excuse me, Dougie Fresh on. And if you know that song, you are old enough to be here. For sure, like you're definitely old enough. Okay, so this is fun. So now we're to the bone on this side, these little bone areas, and this is easy. So all we really have to do is hit these highlights, and we're gonna really let the washes do the underneath work for us here. So we just need to put a coat of Naples yellow on them. And they're gonna look fan-diddly-astic. This is the coat we have to be careful on. We do not want to make mistakes here. We can fix them if we have to, but it would be easier if we didn't. So we want to pay real close attention when we get to this spot. And that's gonna, you can already kind of see how this is gonna stand out against where it was a fleshier color. It's gonna let these bonier parts really kind of ring true. You'll look at it and say, "Oh, yeah, that's definitely a harder bone chunk." Where this is like flesh, kind of like the wings of our Tyranid Prime was flesh. But we'll do bone there, and then we'll make this part will be bone. And then the outside parts of these, this will be a more harder bone looking stuff. Well, we'll leave this fleshy. So there's that. I think we are just about out of time for today. And again, I will apologize, and I will explain. And I have to go see the doctor. I had to start early today. But we're going to be back to our usual time tomorrow to come in. Ooh, I got a little bit of dark paint on there. We'll have to fix that. Oh, we'll fix that when we come back and do the wet blending on that side. Anyway, so we put in our first set of washes on this, and we started our wet blending down this side. You can see how fantastic that's starting to look. And we'll come back tomorrow, and we'll get this one. We're gonna be getting pretty close to having this, the main gist of this going. We may get to the carapace tomorrow and get to finish it up. It's going to need another wash or two. And then we'll move on and work on our Screamer Killer some more. And then hopefully we'll have something new to play with. So it's always fun having the new things to come in. So anyway, hope you enjoyed our little program. Don't forget to give us the like and subscribe. And we'll definitely see you tomorrow. Again, we'll give you the sides again. So this is the side where we started doing our work with our wet blends, and this is the side that hasn't been done yet. That's just washes and stuff like that. So the blended and just the wash, both look great, but a very different end look. Ooh, especially when it focuses. That dang camera does what it's supposed to. You can see that difference in the way it looks. This one looks washy. You can see where the wash resided and stuff like that. And this one, more dabbled, more natural. Anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support, guys. You're awesome. And I gotta go. I gotta get these lungs checked out and get some new prescription or renew my prescriptions or whatever it is. Anyway, I really appreciate you coming. I'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock tomorrow.